conflict with what you've read?
No, so this is actually, there's three different theories that he kind of goes into. One theory, the one that you're talking about, is the filter theory, that your brain filters what consciousness is. And so we are experiencing a reality that is purely what our brain can perceive. And it's filtering through the endless potential of what could be out there. And we are experiencing the physical reality that we have because that's all that our brain can perceive.
So are you talking about manifestation as far as like whatever we think and perceive, like that is our reality?
So like it's part of it because like this is what the consensus reality is, what everyone kind of agrees is reality. But yet if you dive into, meditation or even like, tantric yoga,
Or hallucinogens.
Yeah, well.
Yeah, he talks about hallucinogens too in the book. Like all of these methods, it opens up different realms.
The third eye.
To a certain extent. Yeah, and so it's like what is that? And back to the theories real quick. You have the filter theory, and then you have the theory that the brain creates consciousness, but then you have the theory that consciousness creates everything, and creates the brain, and the only reason that we have a brain is because consciousness exists. And so, what's interesting about this is that in these states of, deep meditation or listening to binaural beats or doing tantric yoga or on hallucinogens, what you see is in these states where you open up your consciousness a bit and you experience these different states of reality, your brain activity actually decreases.
Okay, so you're experiencing
well, I think the noise
altered
decreases.
States of reality, but your brain activity decreases?
I would say in certain areas because that's just the noise in your brain. Like in order to meditate, you have to set all that stuff free and focus.
I've got you got to filter. For me, I've got to filter out the ringing in my ears.
Sure.
And once that goes away, the tinnitus, then I know I've hit a zone.
Are you able to quiet your brain down?
Yes. It takes.
It definitely takes practice, and and so an interesting read I had recently. If you want to check it out, it was called, I believe, the 5th interview of Dr. Neruda, and it was something like they interviewed him in '98, but it was essentially talking about how human beings, I guess, were infinite beings, we were basically souls when we were essentially tricked into taking on the human body. By the Anunnaki. I don't know if you've ever heard of it, and so
we were tricked.
Yeah, and basically, what the theory is it's the simulation theory, which is a very popular theory, kind of similar to the Matrix, but basically they say that the afterlife is almost another construct of this little computer system that we're in, that basically the white light is just a trick to recycle your soul back into the system, which is like a prison planet.
So you get like a reboot.
A reboot. And we are now facing kind of a crossroads in humanity, whether we are going to merge with the robots and AI and, essentially go that direction, or if we are just going to change our consciousness as an entire human species and you realize that we're all equal and we're all, individual souls.
Right. Well,
and in order to escape this slave pattern that we live on this planet.
If I have the opportunity, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Oh no, you can go. I was just gonna say that's pretty sci-fi.
It is definitely, and that's why I would suggest reading the material, because I'm not the reader of this message, and I don't take it as truth. I don't take anything as truth.
Unless, well, wait, that's a hand.
Well, as far as most stuff that I read,
it could be a tentacle, but does it feel like a tentacle? Does it look like a tentacle?
It's a hand.
It's a hand.
Yes.
Now, if you want a tentacle, I could put a tentacle in your hand, but we're not talking about that.
Excellent.
Exactly.
So that's pretty deep. That is pretty deep, you know. And I mean, like, far-fetched theories is what Higher Thoughts is about. It's because we don't necessarily present anything as the truth. We just present all sides, and you can make a decision for yourself.
You're welcome to believe what you want.
You know, research and prove anything we say wrong. We encourage that on this show.
Yes, active debate and discussion.
Go ahead, Savannah.
Okay, sorry. One thing that I'm like not there in person, so I don't know where like the physical cues are to talk. But one thing that the book went into a bit, and this is kind of like there's some cool YouTube videos you can watch to get a good understanding of it. But you know how unconcrete this reality is. It's on a quantum level. If you go on and dive into quantum physics. And this is where YouTube videos help a lot because reading about quantum physics, those people are incredibly intelligent.
Very smart, yes.
And it's a bit over my head. But a cartoon YouTube video, I can
cartoon YouTube video. I'm down with that.
Yeah.
Well, and I try to read a lot of quantum physics type articles as well and studies. And like some of it is tough to wrap your mind around, but typically they try to, explain it as the best they can to the common mind.
Yeah, I think even Albert Einstein said that, like, if you meet someone that tells you that they understand quantum physics, then you just met a liar.
Well, sure, but I'm definitely a big believer in just, like, spiritual power, and that, like, is kind of what quantum physics, like, it's universal energies that are invisible and hard to prove. And,
right, but
they are now getting
spiritual?
Well, I mean, like, for a lot of people, I believe it is. For a lot of people, I think it is, but maybe not for everybody. But
not for everybody.
It's just the universal energies.
I can deny gravity all I want, based on some creed that this gravity is an oppression from a negative being. But does that really explain why gravity draws me down to the center of the planet?
So I'm positive I lost an electron, so you better keep an eye on that. Ion.
I'm positive.
Anyways.
I'm slapping my knee. You can't see.
Woohoo!
It's a knee slap.
Well, the book you were talking about, Savannah, was Living in a Mindful Universe. Some very interesting stuff. You got any other questions, comments that you'd like to concern? You messaged me the other day about how you were concerned about Iran and global warming or climate change or something like that. What are your concerns there?
Oh, my biggest concern, I have two really big concerns right now. One, that we're going to go to war with Iran.
Right.
Just saw they have John Kerry over there.
the thing is, like, if you look at in this situation, I find it super important to read your normal news, whatever, but then read Al Jazeera, because it gives you the other side of the story. And I mean, Iran and one other country claimed that the drone that they shot down was over Iran airspace. And then we claim that it was over international waters. And it's like,
it's all propaganda,
That could start, well, it's just like, but who knows, we don't know what the right story is. And I would hate to see another encounter, or like, I would hate to see like another
forever war
event happen, like 2001, where they started like feeding us information, that was psychologically tested to sway us onto their side because they wanted a war. And with the election coming up, man, if a president is in war, the chances of re-election are almost guaranteed.
No. If Donald Trump drags us into a war in the Middle East,
I have an interesting story here that relates to that. James O'Keefe and Project Veritas apparently recently released an undercover video and leaked documents and testimony from a Google insider that it reveals the tech giant's plans to meddle in American elections. The Google executives have deleted their social media pages and have gone into hiding. So this was a story that was reported. And it just goes to show you that there's a lot of swaying in the elections, and it's not technically just the Russians. It's our own social media giants here in this country.
Right, but we were talking about the war with Iran.
Well, even the sway public opinion, like she mentioned in 2001.
Right. Swaying public opinion.
Because all of these news corporations are owned by the same people, essentially. So it is easy to brainwash a country.
Well, this is sort of off topic, but I think really interesting that baby boomers actually share 7 times more fake news articles than millennials do.
They do. And I've called my stepdad out a lot on that. I'm like, fake, he'll post something and just like, that can't be true.
Yeah. No. Thank God I'm not a boomer, and thank God I'm off the face crack.
It's funny.
Yeah.
So are you pre-boomer, Mel?
I'm on the cusp.
He's on the cusp of X. Well, no, not X.
Yeah.
Y?
No, X.
Oh, X?
Yeah, boomer and X.
Dude, claim that till you die.
I'm more of an Xer than a boomer. It's just the way my brain is wired.
Well, Savannah, we definitely appreciate the call, and I guess we're gonna kind of move on here. We had just 16 minutes, and we don't want to get too repetitive.
And eat up your whole evening.
And eat up your whole evening, I suppose, as well. But yeah, definitely holler, huh?
Exactly.
Yeah.
There's no reason
our old
not to keep in touch.
Here. Very, very intelligent, cool.
Absolutely. Reach out and touch someone. Reach out and just say hi. Sorry, you didn't watch that commercial.
I have a cat. That's all I have.
Well, Savannah, we wish you well, and tell everybody in the fam we said hi here at Higher Thought.
Okay, I will.
And we hope to have you on the show here pretty soon.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. I'll let you guys know. Heading to Florida soon. But you guys enjoy your show. It was good talking to you.
All right, you as well.
Nice to talk to you.
Thanks for the call.
Bye.
Bye now.
All right, later. Awesome. Yeah, good always to have a call and a Acadiana if you want to get in on that action. 366-8950 and press the 1.
Press the 1.
So a couple other news topics I guess we can go through.
Yeah.
How about an 11-year-old boy? Speaking of hacking into stuff, 11-year-old boy in Florida was able to hack into a replica of the Florida state election website and change voting results in under 10 minutes during the world's largest yearly hacking convention.
Hackathon, right. Okay, a replica. So they provided a replica of their voter.
Right, and an 11-year-old boy was able to hack in there under 10 minutes and change the results.
Jeebus Crispies, what is wrong with you people? Let's go back to punch cards. You know what? It'd be, no, because Florida screwed that up with hanging chads.
Right.
Let's go back to freaking check marks on a piece of paper.
Eventually, we're going to be voting on these things.
No, I don't trust these bastards to save my life.
Nor do I.
And we can pay people. They can earn money to count votes.
How about a Miami high school is catching some heat after a jungle-themed prom decorations included a live caged tiger.
Was it PETA involved with this one?
You gotta think so. Speaking of Miami, a Miami bar actually offered customers free shots for every goal by the U.S. at the Women's World Cup. They've scaled back, however, in an offer I guess the team had a record-breaking 13-0 thrashing.
13 free shots. Woo!
Yeah, so they lost a little bit of money that night. They didn't think they would score that. I mean, usually soccer is like no more than 3 or 4.
Right. 0-0.
Right, but I guess the Americans Women World Cup team is whooping it. How about 3 people snatched a small shark from a pool at the San Antonio Aquarium and smuggled it out with a baby carriage.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Golly.
Thieving ass people.
A Phoenix father is facing second-degree murder charges for allegedly killing a man who attempted to break into his teenage girl's stall at a convenience store bathroom.
Wait, what?
So, like, they're at a convenience store.
Right.
Some dude tried to break in and, like, with his daughter. And,
Right.
And, like,
and Dad popped a cap in his ass?
No, he beat the shit out of him. Like,
Okay,
beat him
well,
to
good.
death, I think.
Oh, to death. Well, that's a little excessive.
Yeah, well.
I mean, I'd beat the fudge out of him.
Fudge out of him, right.
Yeah, but not to death. I mean, even I have
That's a little
semblance
harsh.
of self-control.
Let's see. A man has been arrested in JFK Airport for trying to smuggle 34 live finches, like birds,
In his pants?
in plastic hair curlers.
Oh, come
Planning
on.
to sell the animals to be used at a lucrative bird singing competitions in New York City for $3,000 apiece.
I'd take that risk.
Dang. Michigan man who won a $30 million lottery jackpot while in the midst of a divorce proceedings
I heard
must
about
split the
that.
money with his ex.
Yeah.
Sucks
Because
for
the
him.
money that was used to purchase the lottery ticket, they were still communally attached.
Right.
Yeah. I'd have kept my mouth shut until the very last minute.
So if you're on Tinder, Acadiana, and you're a farmer,
Oh!
you might want to get on Tutter.
Tutter?
Tutter is a mix of a dating app between Tinder and an udder. It lets farmers swipe right on cattle they like the look of. Basically for breeding for their...
Because they want to buy cows, right. Oh, God. Hey, man, great. There's an app for everybody. Isn't there a dating website, like, for farmers only or some sort of crap like that?
I think there is. How about in Switzerland? This is world news here. Switzerland announced plans to abolish the nation's emergency stockpile of coffee.
Yeah.
After declaring the beans are not vital for human survival, though opposition to the proposal is brewing.
Yes, it is.
I like what they did there, brewing.
There are a number of citizens that are upset.
And I don't want an apocalypse without coffee.
Right, cocoa's just not going to cut it. Give me
Right.
coffee.
So the WWE, and going into entertainment news, I guess.
Hey, man,
they've
we
been
got to
struggling.
have our
They had a
stories.
pay-per-view on Sunday, and I think they only sold like 3,500 tickets. And they had to do 2-for-1s, give away a bunch of free tickets. The ratings are down, so Fox, which they made a sign a deal with Fox, and they're supposed to have SmackDown on Fox on Fridays, I think, coming up soon. But Fox is saying y'all need to make some changes. This is bad. Y'all's ratings suck.
Poor Ed.
And they've named Paul
Vince.
Heyman to become the executive director of Monday Night Raw, and Eric Bischoff from SmackDown Live. Basically, Heyman ran ECW back in the 90s, and Bischoff ran WCW back in the 90s. So, and they're both going to report to Vince McMahon, which, in my opinion, Vince McMahon's probably one of the biggest problems with the...
Yeah.
I mean, with the storyline, everything has to go through him, and he knocks everything down.
Right.
And I don't know, he's like a
is the
70-some-year-old
bottleneck,
dude, but
yeah.
he's the boss.
Yeah.
Anyway, sports news. How about breakdancing has been provisionally approved for the 2024 Olympics?
Good.
Yeah, that's kind of
Good.
cool.
I mean, it's gymnastics. It's
I'd see some worldwide breakdancing.
yeah.
And in college baseball news, Vanderbilt won the second national championship, beating Michigan.
Good for Vandy.
Yeah, Vandy. Some studies, interesting stuff. Luton Malin is a French company that actually produces capsules claiming to make your farts smell like roses.
No.
They've actually got other flavors as well. They can make your farts smell like violet, ginger, and the most popular of all, chocolate.
Wait, flavors. That's
Chocolate
just-
flavored
not
farts.
Chocolate flavored farts.
So you take the capsule and your farts can smell like roses. You know, because used to, when you farted on your brother or sister or something like that,
Right.
you'd be like, my farts smell like roses. You know, but now they literally can.
Is it like the Cleveland steamer where you cut one and then pull the cover over their head?
Kind of so, yeah.
Yeah.
That's one of the worst. That's
Yeah.
one of the worst. Or in the car and the windows are broken.
Yeah. Yeah.
Let's see. Plastic bottles made of number 1 and number 7 plastics can leach harmful chemicals into water and liquid over time. So basically, you shouldn't reuse water bottles, is what the article was saying. To where you refill water bottles. But it was saying that as plastic ages, cracks and other damages appear in the bottle, increasing the amount of chemicals absorbed by the liquid contained in the bottle.
Right. Does it give the number of
number 1 and number 7 plastics?
Number 1 and number 7 plastic.
Which I'm not sure where you would find that information, but I mean,
it's gotta be stamped on here somewhere.
Those bottles tend to have what was it? It's BPA, not BPA. That BPA is the big ones.
Right.
It is. It's on like every water bottle. I'm not sure. How about for the first time, astrophysicists have used AI techniques to generate complex 3D simulations of the universe.
Cool.
Results are so fast, accurate, and robust that the creators aren't even sure how it works. And this is like getting back to that simulation theory. And of course, even, Savannah mentioned it was kind of like far-fetched, but once you kind of read this theory, it all kind of ties in religion, it ties in astrology, it ties in reincarnation, it ties in the simulation theory, all kind of together. And it's a very interesting theory. And a lot of people that are kind of woke are kind of feeling that kind of thing. That just realizing this whole world built around us is all fake. And I suggest you research a little bit on Rand Corporation and Tavistock Institute, which is two of the biggest corporations, nonprofit, that pretty much do mind control and create social engineering that pretty much creates our culture.
Right.
So.
Or you could read Plato and his story about
that too.
The
read it all. Read it all. Let's see. Men's fertility irreversibly damaged by the age of 18 thanks to Western junk food diet, study finds.
Jesus God. Okay.
So I guess eating crap
Okay, so I ate crap food all my growing years. I've got 4 kids. Does that mean that I'm an outlier or the study's flawed?
Well, actually, fertility rates are now falling in half of the world's countries.
Good. Good.
I know you're a big believer.
We got too many people.
Too many people.
Too many people. And if we could just get rid of the stupid ones, we'd get rid of at least half the population.
Did you know that humor results when a person this is based on a study, that humor results when a person simultaneously recognizes both that a norm has been breached and that breach is benign.
Sounds reasonable.
Yeah, that was what's funny to humans.
Sounds reasonable, because if it's an offensive topic, then you would react differently.
And speaking of humor, some 10 steps to Zen. How about that? That'll lead to our little list of puns that we got to finish the show.
I'm down for 10 steps to Zen.
10 steps to Zen. And we can talk a little bit about each one. We've got about 10, 11 minutes left. Let's see. Number 1, let go of comparing. So, be okay with who you are. You don't need to be as good as somebody. You don't need to be better than somebody.
It also goes for comparing to exes.
Sure.
You know?
Or even comparing other people.
Other people, right. But
yeah, I agree. Everyone is equal. We are all one. We're all equal. Yeah. Right? Yeah. Number 2, let go of competing. Which, sometimes, I'm competitive, but, as far as, I work hard, I do my thing, but I'm not doing it to beat somebody.
Right. Absolutely.
And even I'm a good sport whenever I do play a game. I might talk some trash, but I do that because it's funny and it's fun.
Right. Well,
so.
It's like when we were playing shuffleboard last week.
Sure, we talked trash, but I got spanked last week. For the first time since we played.
For the first time ever.
So I was out of it. But hey, you got to win good and lose good, and it's all for the fun.
Exactly.
We're all winners.
And a good time was had by all.
A good time was had by all. Number 3, let go of judgments of other people, and that's part of it. I accept you for who you are. Everybody has a past. It's where you are now.
Right. And you got to remember that people have a bad day. Just because they come at you a certain way It doesn't mean that they're a dick.
I forgive and forget. It's like I'm a "what have you done for me lately" kind of person. And I mean, like, as far as like you can change. Like if
Right.
I might have started off not liking you, but if you like change for the better,
Right.
hey, well, you're my best friend. So, and it's another important aspect of that is you got to give preemptive love and respect.
Right.
Preemptive love and respect, and it's yours to lose.
Yeah.
To everyone.
I do that at work. We have certain privileges that are allowed to my clients, and if they violate the social norms in our environment, then those privileges go away.
Yeah, preemptive love and respect. It's yours to lose.
Yeah.
And but I can forgive you if you change, do the right thing, and you can get it all back.
Right. You can modify your behavior, and I'll be glad to restore your privileges.
Right. Because like when you concern yourself with the past, it'll just lead to depression. When you focus on, when you're fixated on the future, it will lead to anxiety. So you got to be in the moment, and you got to be present.
And be the best you can be.
No doubt, no doubt. I mean, it's good to plan forward.
Right.
It's good to reminisce on the past.
Right.
But in certain,
Yeah, right.
balance.
There's got to be reasonable constraints on the time you spend it on those activities.
So we're letting go of things. We've already mentioned letting go of comparing, letting go of competing, letting go of judgments. Next one is letting go of anger.
Tough.
I've tried to. I've gotten so much better in the years, like to where not as much. Like I don't get as angry like driving in traffic.
See, traffic.
That's the hardest one.
Traffic
I think.
is my trigger.
Or like handling students. I mean, just like I've learned the power of the pen as far as that, and not to engage in the anger or the negative energy. So I mean, like try to avoid that. Find your harness to where you can get the anger out somewhere else. Go exercise or whatever you do.
Yeah, absolutely.
Let go of regrets. Yeah, I mean, what can you do about it?
Nothing, but I guess, okay, you have the regret until you learn from the mistake.
Well, the universe is gonna keep on presenting that problem to you until you learn the lesson.
Right.
So I mean, like you just gotta let go of the regrets, learn from it. But like don't be burdened by it. Well, like let it off your shoulders.
Right. Not being
which
by
that
it's
goes
tough.
right hand in hand with the next one. Number 6, let go of worrying. So I mean, like don't sweat the petty stuff, pet the sweaty stuff.
Right, but there's times that you worry when it has hit.
I'd say you definitely worry when it comes to children.
And when it has hit the fan, or the rotary impeller, and stuff just comes. It's like everything's going smooth, and then all of a sudden, it happens, and it's tough. It's really tough.
I mean, these are all tough, but the path is in.
Yeah.
You have to overcome this in order to achieve enlightenment. I mean,
Well,
ultimately.
I need work.
Let's see, letting go of blame. That's a part of fixating on the past. Letting go of guilt, which I think goes with regrets. And number 9, letting go of fear. I think I have a trouble with that one. Sometimes a fear of letting go, a fear of, changing environments or directions in life, fear of, being hurt in a situation.
Oh, absolutely.
And so that kind of keeps me from going in a certain direction that if I overcame that fear, it'd be a better direction.
Be different, right.
And finally, and this is going to lead us into our little joke segment here. How about that timing?
Good timing.
Have a proper belly laugh at least once a day. It's important.
I generally get in at least one good laugh a day.
You got to. And I mean, your brain honestly does not know the difference. And many mornings on the way to work, I am fake laughing and doing goofy faces on the way to work, essentially to get myself in a good mood because I am not a morning person.
Yeah.
So I'm, like drinking the coffee hardcore. And essentially making goofy faces, which my brain does not know the difference. I'm fake laughing, and like it makes me happy,
Maybe I'll try that this upcoming year.
And it wakes you up a little bit,
right,
too.
but my patrons know that I'm a little groggy in the morning. And
Well, it goes with the territory.
I mean, they know it and they accept it, and we work together in a successful fashion.
And we got about 4 minutes left in the show, and we're going to do a little bit of pun.
Yeah.
We're going to have a little bit of pun fun.
Pun fun. A little. Sid, if you're watching.
There you go. Last 4 minutes.
Right. We're going to be
gift.
very punny just for you.
So I started a company selling landmines disguised as prayer mats. The profits are going through the roof.
Oh, that's brutal. Next.
I'm super friendly with 25 letters of the alphabet. I just don't know why. That one's kind of a little cheesy. Let's see. How many tickles does it take to make an octopus laugh? Tentacles.
Tentacles, yeah. Yeah.
Let's see. How does Moses make coffee?
Ooh.
He brews it. He brews.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Let's see. How does an attorney sleep? A lawyer joke.
On the bottom of the ocean with the rest of the sharks?
First he lies on one side, then he lies on the other. Let's see. What do you call a super articulate dinosaur?
A thesaurus.
There you go. Let's see. What superlative did Robert E. Lee High School win in high school? Or Robert E. Lee win in high school? Most likely to secede.
Secede,
Yeah,
right.
dumb.
Yeah.
How did the Native Americans get to America first? They had reservations.
Oh, that's brutal. Yeah.
What's so great about whiteboards? If you think about it, they're pretty remarkable.
Jesus God Almighty. That's funny.
That is kind of a good little teacher
They are
joke.
remarkable.
Let's see. I've got a phobia of over-engineered buildings. Over-engineered buildings. A phobia of over-engineered building. It's called a complex.
No.
Well, because it's complex.
It's complex.
And it's a complex.
Complex. Yes.
And it's complex.
Yeah. Over-engineered.
What do you call a dinosaur with one eye? Do you think he saw us?
Oh.
Let's see. Why did the mathematician work from home? Because he can only function in his domain.
Yeah.
Why is your iPad making you fall asleep? I can help. There's a nap for that.
There's a nap for that. Exactly.
Let's see. I like bowling. Seriously, it's right up my alley. Oh, that's dumb. Let's see.
Hey, we got bowling fans.
I tried to sue the airline for losing my luggage. I lost my case. What do you call a girl with an hourglass figure? A complete waste of time.
Oh.
Knew a mathematician who couldn't afford lunch. He was binomial. Binomial? I wanted to learn to drive a stick shift. Thing is, I couldn't find the manual.
Oh.
Let's see. What do you call children who were born in a whorehouse? Brothel sprouts.
Oh.
What do you call a turtle who takes up photography